All right, so even the most experienced Johnny on the spot diaper changer, at some point we experience diaper rash. It's just having a baby, okay? Why? Because sometimes you don't even know they're sitting in a pee and poop, right? They're sitting there smiling, happy, and you're like, woo, what's with that? And they were sitting in a pee and poop for a little bit too long. Their skin is very sensitive, and we're going to talk more about skincare after we talk about, in this diaper rash, we're going to move into generalized skincare, okay? So you're changing a diaper, or you get a call and your woman's like, hey babes, I think we got some diaper rash going on here. You're like, okay, tell me what you see, or, you're looking down in the diaper and the skin is kind of red, irritated, splotchy, right? It's red and irritated and splotchy-ish, right? It's diaper rash, okay? So the first thing you do is look what time it is, okay? You see what time it is in the day, all right? Then you get whatever diaper ointment that you guys chose, that you like, you're attracted to, okay? There's so many out there. There's so many good ones. You're going to want to pick the one that speaks to you, okay? Ultimately, you'll figure out which one you like the best. You take that diaper rash ointment, whichever one you have on hand, you slather them up. So first, you want to make sure you put that stuff on liberally, okay? You want to coat it really nicely. Then, every time you change the diaper, again, coat it liberally. Coat it liberally, wherever it is, their whole tushy, their little vagina, their peppy, the penis, the whole area. Coat it liberally. The reason why I talked about checking your watch is because this is the key. Within 24 hours, you want to see, literally, you want to see a visual, literal improvement in that skin condition, okay? You want it looking really back to normal, the skin is looking healed, or at least like absolutely, clearly it's healing, okay? If not, okay, and you go longer and it doesn't look like it's really any better, and you keep treating it as a diaper rash, there are really high odds that if it didn't improve in 24 hours, that it's not indeed diaper rash, that it is a yeast infection, okay? Very high odds in your baby's diaper, either diaper rash or yeast infection. Yeast infection, fungal infection, goes in a dark, moist, bacteria-laden environment, which is their diaper, okay? So 24 hours, if there's no improvement, you want to switch gears and say, hey babes, let's start treating this as a yeast infection. Okay, so how do we treat it as a yeast infection? The best thing that I have found, and that in the birthing world, a lot of folks agree on, athlete's foot cream, okay? Pick whichever antifungal foot cream, AF. You want the antifungal, whatever brand you pick, okay? AF, antifungal. It's very powerful antifungal and works excellent on your baby's yeast infection, okay? So, 24 hours, no improvement. I mean, look, if it's improving, it's an actual just a diaper rash. So you keep treating it as a diaper rash. No improvement, you're thinking yeast infection, honey, slather on the antifungal stuff. Again, 24 hours. You want to see improvement. You don't want to wait any longer than 24 hours for improvement, okay? Now, if you don't see an improvement in 24 hours, ding-a-ling-a-ling, call your pediatrician. Hey, we got some rash. It's not going away. I treated it as a diaper rash, treated it as a yeast infection. It's not going away. Maybe they're allergic to, I don't know, the diapers, the wipes. I don't know. There's a lot of different factors involved, okay? However, very, very high odds of these two things. Now, this is the danger of having a yeast infection and continually to treat it as a diaper rash. right? So if you keep treating it as a diaper rash, but it was indeed a yeast infection and you never switched gears, you're really increasing your odds that you're going to get a skin infection. Your baby's going to get a skin infection called impetigo. And that is essentially because the pores were swollen and the pee and poop, the feces got in there and it caused an infection, right? And the skin fluffs off and there's little pus pimples and there's crying and pain and, it's so terrible. We know because it happened to us a bunch of times before. We were like, okay, 24, I'm not going any longer than 24 hours. We waited too long and then it got worse and worse. And then, when they have impetigo, it's so painful and, you got to peel the diaper off. It's dramatic, okay? And then you got to bring them in the tub or the sink and hose them down. And I'm really trying to save you from that experience, okay? And there is high odds that you can avoid that altogether. And imagine how relevant that is, okay? 24 hours, switch gears. Okay, just to kind of bring it back around. You recognize there's a diaper rash. Hey, what time is it, honey? Why don't you just jot that down somewhere? Or you take the note. Okay, then you take your note down. Then the next day, let's say you're at work. Look, if you're at home, you're on it. If you're at work, hey, babes, you remember what time we checked yesterday? Let's make sure that it's improving. If it's improving, you got a diaper rash and it's getting better, great. Not improving, switch gears, antifungal, really consider it a yeast infection, okay? If there's, 24 hours again, you really want to see the improvement. And you're in business. If it's improving, you're on the right track. And again, this is just so you are in the know. Those are really the main things, barring any other kind of weird thing. Those are the main two things that you're going to be concerned about in the diaper. Okay, and you recognize how to prevent it from getting any worse, and definitely preventing it from moving into impetigo. Okay? That just shaved, I don't know, it took us 2 kids to learn that one. So I don't know, about 6-7 years, okay? Really relevant, my friend, okay? All right. So now let's talk about their skin in general, right? So their skin in general is very sensitive when they get, when they come. It's still, right? They're still raw. They're just this little raw being, okay? That's takes some time to really develop, and all their systems are turning on and their functioning is turning on, and even their skin is still sensitive, right? So we want to be conscious of that. And meaning, you might get some lotions and powders and different, perfumes, and I don't know, there's so many baby things and products that everyone, is saying you need, okay? And I'm not here saying you don't, I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff. Before you put anything on your baby's skin besides a diaper, okay, try it on a little section, maybe on their forearm a little bit, or maybe right on their little thigh. Just try a little to see if there's a reaction. We don't know. You don't know if your baby's gonna like that special perfumey whatever. So hey babes, again, bringing this stuff to the table. Hey honey, before we put anything on, try it in one little area. Let's make sure they don't have any reaction to it. Thanks honey, that's a great idea. Especially before you slather it on any place, okay? So that's the main thing. You see if they're going to have any kind of reaction to that. And just be conscious their skin is sensitive, all right? When it comes to one other thing, we want to talk about is cloth diapers. That is, ultimately you would change them the same way, same technique. And again, that's a mommy, daddy, personal preference. I mean, over these 16 years, I've had guys who love them, families that love them, families that started with them and changed, family that stuck with them the whole time. The process will remain the same. Okay, ultimately that's going to be, I wish there's more to talk about except the fact that it's a personal preference. It's really great to have some disposable ones in your diaper bag just in case. I mean, better have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And you'll trial and error. It's a mommy daddy. You're going to have fun with it. You'll see if it works for you. Ultimately, that's you guys coming together and what's going to work best in your place. Okay? All right. So, all right. Right now, I feel confident in sharing with you, my friend, that you know more than, I don't know, 95, 98% of dudes out there who are about to manage a baby. You now have an understanding about, even them coming out and the changing style, keeping their spine aligned and healthy without crinking them over. Super relevant, man. Super relevant. Little things like that. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Okay, you have a good understanding of poop. Not only right now what's going to be in their diaper, but also to come and to just be conscious, to take a look in, being conscious of hydration, if they, what it looks like, if it's normal, not normal, okay? Also skin care and how to prevent really, diaper rash from getting worse in your 24 hours. So again, you don't need to know everything, but that's a lot. And you are totally poised for win, 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 okay? Change the diapers. Get in there. Change the first diaper if you can. Diaper changing is such an amazing way for you to connect and bond with your baby, and especially if they're breastfeeding, and even if they're not breastfeeding. It is an amazing way that you can get in there and start bonding with your kid, taking care of their needs, right? That's going to help them to know that they're safe and taken care of. You are definitely poised as the diaper changing champion, okay? So next up, we're going to move to how to feed your baby. We're going to cover breastfeeding, bottle feeding, how to support your woman through breastfeeding, all of it. You're going to be poised again to be the hero dad, hero feeder, know what's what, to feel more empowered so you can stand on your own 2 feet to manage your baby. All right, feeding is coming up next.